Hello and welcome. Let's talk about the new Avalanche feature in dynamic science. What is Avalanche feature? Do you ever have this problem where you've looked at results from an assessment or an assignment? You're like, this student is smarter than that. They just clicked through this and clicked any old answers and just submitted it just to get through it. A student rushing through just to finish, to move on to something else. This feature will help. Automatically, your students are going to receive an on-screen warning. There's an on-screen warning that shows up for every student. You don't have to do anything for it to happen. And there is an optional feature. That optional feature you get to turn on. If a student gets the avalanche 3 times in a row on the third time, it will lock them out until you walk over to their computer, have a discussion about being a good learner, and enter your code. Here's what the warning looks like. It just says, watch out for the avalanche. You need to take your time. And they click on continue, right? We want your students to show us how awesome they are. You don't need to do a thing for this portion of the feature to work. It is already currently working for you. Students will get that however many times they need to get it while they're completing an assignment with questions to answer. Here's what it looks like in action. You see this student's taking an assessment and they're just seemingly clicking without reading or thinking. There is a little toggle in the upper right hand corner that if you have a Spanish speaking student, they can toggle that to Spanish to read that warning in Spanish. And this is what students get if you turn on the optional teacher intervention mode. So this student, this is the third time that they've reached the avalanche by going too fast. You will walk over to their computer, type in your code, and hit submit. Here's how you're going to manage your code, and here's how you're going to turn on that teacher intervention if you choose to do so. You're going to click on My Account and go down to Settings, and that's going to take you to a page that looks like this with all of your settings. You're going to look at the setting at the bottom of the page, Require Teacher Intervention after Student Pacing Warnings. You're first going to click on the Enabled button. Then you're going to enter a teacher code. It must be 5 digits, any 5 digits of your choice. Clearly, you want it to be something you can easily remember, and you're going to click Save. You can come back to this screen and change that teacher code however often you would like to change it. If you think a student has it, you want to change it, or you want to change it on a regular basis to keep it secure, that code can be changed anytime you would like for it to be changed. So when students get that warning, now you will have a code to enter. Be mindful though, think about this. There are some times that your students do work when you're not with them. Maybe there's a substitute. Maybe it's homework. Remember, if your students are going to be in a scenario where they're going to be working on completing assignments when you're not going to be available to turn off their Avalanche feature, you'll want to disable that or make sure your substitute teacher has that code and knows how to use it. If you have a co-teacher in class, sometimes it's an inclusion teacher, sometimes it's an ESL support or a science support, make sure he or she knows the code too so that they can help unlock students who have been locked down for working too fast. I hope that this feature will make the data that you collect for your students more reliable. And as always, thank you for trusting Summit K-12 and Dynamic Science to support you in creating phenomenal learning experiences for your students.